Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We go back 83 years to March 10th, 1939, West Coast program Calling All Cars in the case of the lesson in loot. And we thank you for tuning in on this Sure Happy It's Thursday, 10th day of March, 69th day of the year. We have 296 days remaining until we get to 2023. In St. Louis, a formal ceremony conducted in 1804 to transfer ownership of the Louisiana Territory from France to the United States. The Treaty of Guadalupe-Hidalgo, ratified by the Senate on this date in 1848, ending the Mexican-American War. Alexander Graham Bell made the first successful telephone call by saying, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." In 1880, members of the Salvation Army landed in the U.S. and began operations. In 1891, Almond Stroger, an undertaker in Topeka, Kansas, patented the Stroger switch. That was a device which led to the automation of telephone circuit switching. In 1902, a U.S. Court of Appeals ruled that Thomas Edison did not invent the movie camera. An earthquake in Long Beach on this date in 1933 killed 120 people.
What's the matter? Earthquake!
Quick, get behind, folks. No, everybody walk easy. It's all right now. It's all right. Come on. All right. Okay.
An outtake from the film International House when the quake allegedly hit in Los Angeles. Now, the voice you hear telling people to stay calm is W.C. Fields. But a documentary featurette on Fields accompanying the film's DVD release revealed that Fields and director Sutherland faked the footage for the publicity. In Memphis on this date in 1969, James Earl Ray pled guilty to assassinating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He would later retract his guilty plea. In 1977, astronomers discovered rings around Uranus. In 1982, the U.S. placed an embargo on Libyan petroleum imports because of their support of terrorist groups. And it was on this date in 1982, all 9 planets aligned on the same side of the sun. The Holy See condemned practice of surrogate motherhood on this date in 1987, along with test tube babies and artificial insemination. Teenage sniper Lee Boyd Malvo, sentenced in Chesapeake, Virginia in 2004 to life in prison. The Mars Renaissance orbiter arrived at Mars on this date in 2006, and in 2008, news broke that New York Governor Eliot Spitzer had been caught on a federal wiretap arranging to meet with a high-priced prostitute at a Washington hotel. Spitzer very quickly issued a public apology.
I have acted in a way that violates my obligations to my family, and that violates my or any sense of right and wrong.
Spitzer would resign as New York governor 7 days later. Passing away on this date in history, abolitionist Harriet Tubman, actor Ray Milland, singer Andy Gibb, who died 5 days after his 30th birthday of a heart infection, singer Laverne Baker, actor Lloyd Bridges, comedian Richard Jeni, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, football player and pro wrestler, and actor Corey Haim. This is the birthday of actor Barry Fitzgerald, musician Bix Beiderbecke, and Osama bin Laden. Chuck Norris turns 82 today. Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean is also 82 years of age. Actress Shannon Tweed turns 65. Sharon Stone, 64. From a Different World, Jasmine Guy is 60. Edie Brickell, Mrs. Paul Simon of the New Bohemians, 56 years of age. She also participated in the Steve Martin musical album. Singer Carrie Underwood turns 39. From House, Olivia Wilde is 38. And actress-singer Emily Osment is 30. Those some of the people celebrating the 10th day of March is their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
From 83 years ago, March 10th, 1939, calling all cars in the case of the lesson in loot. That comes up next on this Thursday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
The Overstock sale continues at MyPillow.com. Deep discounts on Giza Dream Sheets, MyPillow original pillows, the My Slippers, half price. I love mine. And with every order you make by going to MyPillow.com/radio specials, you'll get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. MyPillow.com/radio specials, promo code USA. Now on Classic Radio Theater, the West Coast program, Calling All Cars, from 83 years ago, March 10th, 1939, in the case of the lesson in loot.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 275 regarding a suspicious person at 5 and Broadway. Assist the officer. That's all. Roads and good.
If you consult your radio log and find a program listed merely as talk, you'll probably skip it. On the other hand, if you know that your favorite subject is going to be discussed by a recognized authority who knows what he's talking about, you'll give him your undivided attention. That's why so many motorists listen to the drivers of police cars, ambulances, fire engines, and other emergency equipment when they talk about gasoline. These men who drive the most know the most about gasoline. They're the foremost authorities on what a motor fuel should do, how it should perform. And so it really means something when these experts recommend Rio Grande Cracked as the gasoline that meets every test of every emergency in any kind of weather. It really means something not only to us but to you. The fact that Rio Grande powers more police and fire department emergency equipment wherever it is sold than any other brand. That endorsement of this better gasoline has led tens of thousands to make their own tests, has brought them the unequaled benefits of police car performance in their own cars. If you have not done so, I invite you to try Rio Grande Cracked. Test it from every angle. And when you've finished, you'll be as enthusiastic as the rest of us over its quicker starting, smoother acceleration, maximum speed, greater power, and real money-saving mileage. Get that tank full in the morning, friends, and you'll understand why Rio Grande Cracked is the most highly recommended gasoline sold in the West. The facts upon which the story we are about to hear are based have been taken from the confidential files of one of the most widely known detectives in the West. We have therefore asked Mr. Nick Harris to open our program.
Thank you, Dr. Lindsley. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to take my place among the law enforcement officers of the West who have appeared on this program and to endorse the ideals for which it stands. I've probably learned one thing more completely from my many years of investigative work than any other fact. That is, that crime of any sort cannot pay. Dollars are not the greatest costs that accrue to crime, despite the fact that billions are paid out annually towards its oppression and to its criminals. The supreme price of the evil created by criminals of our land is found in the moral, in the hearts, and in the souls of those affected directly or indirectly by crime. The story we're about to hear exemplifies most completely that statement, which has become almost a truism, that crime of any sort cannot pay.
Approaching the waiting room of a large department store in Los Angeles, Detective Nick Harris was wondering why his operative had insisted he personally take charge of what appeared to be a routine shoplifting arrest.
I'm glad you could come, Mr. Harris. It's really an unusual case, or I wouldn't have asked you.
What's unusual about a shoplifter? You've never had any trouble taking care of one before.
It's the girl sitting over there on the bench.
That girl?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's nothing but a child. Not more than 14.
I know. That's why the owner of the store refuses to prosecute her.
What did she take?
A pair of very good silk stockings. But you can see that she's dressed well enough. It's not a case of actual need.
You're right. If she gets off too easily this time, she may try again. And when they get away with it a few times, it becomes a habit.
You've always told me preventing crimes was more important than solving them.
Okay, I'll talk to her. She'll be less frightened if you're not around.
Well, I'll get back to work then.
You did the right thing in calling me. We'll see how it works out. Well, young lady, what's all this about?
I don't know. Honest, I don't.
You don't know? You admit you did take the stockings, didn't you?
Yeah, I took them. I don't know why I did it. Honest, I don't.
Oh, come now. We both know that. You wanted them. And either couldn't or didn't want to pay for them. You did want the stockings, didn't you?
I guess so. I don't know, I tell you.
Oh, here. Now, that'll never do. What's your name, young lady?
Pearl Stein.
Well, Pearl, for your sake, we've got to think this thing out. The only people who get into trouble are the ones who don't think straight, or the ones who refuse to think of the consequences.
Everybody's always telling me to think. In school and at home and every place. I can't do anything I want to do.
Do you want to steal?
I told that woman I'd never do it again. I'm telling you, I'll never steal again as long as I live.
Now, believe me, Pearl, I'm not trying to be hard-hearted. But I know how easy it is to... let's talk about something else. Tell me about your home.
What do you want to know about it?
Why, about your father and mother and what your interests are?
Well, my mother's a widow. She has to work in a laundry, and we're terribly poor.
Pearl, I'll check up on what you tell me.
But I'm telling you the truth. Honest, I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Mother has to work such long hours that my sister has to take care of the baby and me. My sister's only a little bit older than I am.
Mm-hmm. Now, Pearl, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to tell me the truth. I want to help you, and the only way I can is for you to have complete confidence in me.
I have. You've been nice.
Fine. You needn't be afraid, whatever your answer is. Pearl, have you ever taken anything like this before? Now, before you answer, let me explain why I ask. You say you don't know why you did it. Well, some people do it because they just can't help it. They're just a little sick in their minds, and they can be cured easily if we know that's why they take things.
Oh, no, I never took anything before in my whole life. Honest, I didn't.
All right, Pearl. And you're never going to again. So now I'll take you home.
Home? Oh, please, sir, I'd die if they knew anything about this.
Don't you realize how lucky you are in being taken home instead of the police station?
But Ma'll give me an awful licking. I just know she will.
Well, I didn't say I'd tell them.
But they'll know right away if I'm dragged home by a cop. I mean...
Just what do you mean?
Oh,
how would they know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Come on, Pearl. We're going home to see just how much you do know.
There's Margaret coming to the door. Please don't tell her anything.
Oh, I'm going to let Margaret do the talking.
What happened, Pearl?
What made you think something might have happened to Pearl?
Why, I don't know.
I haven't done anything, Margaret. Don't let him scare you.
Margaret, I'm not even going to ask you if Pearl has done shoplifting before.
But she couldn't have.
She was caught doing it by one of my store detectives.
I mean, she had money with her.
Mm-hmm. The stockings she took cost more than she had with her.
Oh, you come in the house. Just wait till Ma gets home. You'll get a licking you'll never forget.
Wait a minute. I've done everything I can in talking to her and bringing her home. But we know her now. And the next time we catch her, it'll be a long time before she comes home.
I'm sure Pearl won't ever do it again. And thank you very much for not arresting her this time.
This time, huh?
I'll never do it again.
Pearl, you have every chance for a happy life if you keep that promise.
Pearl Stein was soon forgotten in the maze of police duties, many of them with a less promising outcome. Several months later, Detective Harris was called to a Fifth Street department store. With him went two of his operatives, Mrs. Lillian Brooks and Lulu Lane.
This cashier's been taking money for some time. I'm going to look the situation over, and then it's going to be up to you girls.
Is the management sure about it?
No, that's why they called us in.
Well, if they can't find anything by checking sales, she must be smart.
Let's see. They gave me the location of her desk. I want to come up from the back. Yeah, there she is. You two stay here where she can't see you. I'll be back. Why, hello, Pearl.
Oh, what are you doing here? Checking up on me?
Just shopping, Pearl. I'm glad to see you're helping the family by working. How you like your job?
Oh, I like it lots. It's swell.
That's fine.
I want to thank you for everything you did for me. I've been behaving myself just like I promised.
Well, I had hopes for you, Pearl.
Oh, now you can just forget all about me.
Oh, I never forget anyone I try to help. But this isn't getting my shopping done.
Well, I hope I never see you again, unless you're shopping.
Goodbye, Pearl.
Goodbye.
Keep walking ahead of me toward the exit. That was Pearl Stein.
Does she have a record?
Not yet, but I'm afraid it won't be long now.
She can't see us from here.
Lillian, tomorrow morning you're going to have a job as sales lady here. You're going to be in a spot where you can watch every move Pearl makes.
And I'm going to find out what she does at night, huh?
Right. I'll send Hazel Brown to work with you. Meet her outside the employee's entrance when the store closes and stay with Pearl until she's tucked into bed.
Good grief, Hazel. I thought you weren't going to show up.
What's the matter, Lulu? Getting too old for these night watches?
I am not. I just didn't buy these dancing slippers for some truck driver in a beer garden to walk all over.
Beer? Don't tell me it's going to be one of those far into the night affairs.
Hey, wait a minute. Here comes Pearl now. The one with the 3 layers of makeup.
I could have spotted her without the tip. Let's look at your paper.
Huh. She doesn't seem anxious to catch a streetcar.
Well, she has a date. And at her tender age.
Tender? Don't you know that guy she's talking to?
No.
He works at department stores, on the lookout for young girls just out of school.
Well, let's go get him.
Listen, you know we can't touch him without evidence, and that's not our assignment.
Sorry, I just don't like to hesitate with his type.
Well, there they go. Will you bustle up another notch, Hazel? We've got work to do. Oh, my gosh, Hazel, what time is it?
It's only 11:45. Now, don't tell me you're tired of dancing. This is only the second joint we've been in.
Yeah, but it's the 6th they've been in. Think they'll recognize us?
No, they are both too drunk.
Well, let's sit in the booth next to them. Maybe we can pick up something of their conversation.
Let's. It's bound to be more interesting than dancing.
Listen to what you're saying to me. You think I'm pretty, see? I knew what you were thinking even before you said it.
You're a woman of the world, is that it?
Well, what do you think?
I told you. I think you're pretty. But you said you knew that before I told you.
I didn't say I knew it. I said I knew you were thinking of before you said it.
Before I said what?
What's the difference? Oh, come on, Charlie. Let's go someplace else.
Okie doke. Anything you say is okie doke.
But I'm telling you, this place looks just like the last place, Charlie. Are you sure it isn't the last place?
Oh, no, Pearl, I ain't sure it isn't the last place. What if it is the last place?
I don't care. It's swell.
Sure, swell.
You know, Charlie, this is what I call living.
Yeah.
Doing what you want to do and not having anybody watching you and telling you to do something else.
You don't have to worry about that when you're with me.
Say, Charlie, it's swell of you to take me out.
Oh, I ain't doing anything. You're paying the bills, ain't you, honey?
Sure. So let's go someplace else.
Okay.
I want to have a lot of life.
Driver, put your lights out.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want the people in the taxi ahead to notice us.
Pearl's going into that apartment house. Where's her boyfriend?
Probably too drunk to get out of the cab. Yeah, there it goes.
Well, what now?
Oh, nothing until tomorrow night.
I phone in the report tomorrow, but I don't get out of bed to do it.
What a night.
Yeah. And I'll bet Pearl shows up at the store in the morning as fresh as a daisy.
You mean fresh as a wildflower.
Pearl Stein had moved from the protection of her home and was now living her own life. For several nights, she was followed. Then one morning, Operative Brooks, still in the role of saleslady, phoned Detective Harris that she had ample evidence for an arrest.
Nice work, Mrs. Brooks. I brought Lulu Lane to help you. Pearl doesn't know her.
Hello, Lulu. Hello there. You will be a help. You see, Pearl's been forgetting to ring up sales, but I didn't know what she was doing with the money. I got acquainted with her and noticed she kept a makeup box right under the cash register. Drop some money in that when she powders her nose. And I think so. Now, I'll go and admire the makeup box and ask to see it.
And she'll head for the restroom to get the money out of it.
So I'll be in there to nab her when she does.
Right. Go ahead, girls. I'll phone the manager of the store.
Hello, Pearl.
Hello, Lillian. Your counter's not doing much, is it?
Nothing at all. Say, honey, can I borrow some of your lipstick? I can't seem to find mine.
Sure. Here you are.
Gee, that's a beautiful makeup box. Can I look at it?
Why, oh, it's nothing much.
No, but it is. Say, I'd like to get one like it. Go on, let me see it.
Sure. Sure, I'll let you see it. But I'm going to use it right now. I'll show it to you as soon as I get back.
Okay, dearie. Hey, what are you tearing up those sales slips for?
What's it to you?
Just this. You've seen a badge like this before.
Why,
no, you don't. Give me those sales slips.
Hey!
Hold on to her, Lulu. I don't have to. I got the sales slips.
All right, take them. You haven't got a thing on me.
Those slips will add up to exactly what you had in that makeup box. The money's in her stocking now. That's perfect. Come on, Pearl. There's an old friend of yours outside waiting to see you.
This is really turning out to be a sad story. Calling All Cars, March 10th, 1938 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news from 83 years ago today. Next.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
This is an urgent news alert from the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. The war in Ukraine is a humanitarian crisis Europe has not seen since World War II. Yael Eckstein, President and CEO of the Fellowship.
The Fellowship is providing food to the hungry, clothing to the naked, medicine for those who need it. Pray with us because these are lives that are at stake.
Learn more about the work of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews in Ukraine at ifcj.org/crisis.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. We are listening to an episode of the West Coast program Calling All Cars, as it was originally broadcast on Friday, March 10th, 1939. In the newspapers of that Friday 83 years ago, these were some of the headlines. The Democratic congressman from Virginia, Woodrum, said today he thought President Roosevelt would renew either Monday or Tuesday his request for an additional $150 million for relief. Woodrum, Chairman Taylor, also the Democrat of Colorado, of the House Appropriations Committee, and of the Democrat members of the subcommittee, which Woodrum heads, conferred with President Roosevelt today. A little earlier, the president had told his press conference his original relief estimates of early January still held good. After his group had seen the president, Woodrum said, "I think the president will send up a regular formal budget estimate for the $150 million. At his press conference, the president said current estimates of relief needs were the same now as on January 3rd, when he decided to ask Congress for $875 million for relief. up to July 1st. Reports from Bratislava today said Czech police and troops had fired at Slovak separatist demonstrators, killing one member of the Slovak People's Party Guard and wounding 3 others. A Slovak-language broadcast from Vienna said Dr. Joseph Tiso, deposed Slovak parish priest premier, had sent a communique to German Chancellor Hitler. Informants in Prague, where Tiso was held under police supervision, said Tiso could not have communications with Hitler. The nature of Tiso's message was not announced, but the broadcast added that Slovak ex-premier, in a telephone conversation with Vienna, had protested that his removal from office was unconstitutional. Francis J. Gorman, president of the United Textile Workers, said Southern locals of the UTW would demand return of all property taken over by the Textile Workers Organizing Committee. Gorman indicated the locals, which he is attempting to lead from the CIO ranks into the AFL, would take court action to obtain from CIO's Textile Workers Organizing Committee dues and other payments made to that organization since March of 1937. He also announced Southern locals would be given UTW charters and become affiliated with the AFL. Virginio Gaeta, fascism's chief newspaper spokesman, retorted today to statements published in Britain that the Italian army had been weakened by distribution of large numbers of its troops in Spain, Ethiopia, and Libya. In the event of a European or world war, Gaeta answered, Italy and her allies will proceed to their defense in every sector of the world against all enemies' interests with all available military, political, and national resources. Mechanized arms units summoned to the aid of General Jose Minja's government today in Spain smashed their way with tanks into the Plaza, strategic square on the east side of Madrid, crushing communist revolters in their path. There was no indication immediately of the number of casualties, but it was announced officially that 14,000 rebellious soldiers had surrendered since yesterday. General Minja's supporters asserted they had uprooted most of the communist nests which had been holding out, including hiding places of communist snipers who had been firing at the loyal troops. Britain intends to sound out the big powers on the possibility of halting the tremendous arms race, which Prime Minister Chamberlain has declared can end only in bankruptcy for Europe if continued at its present pace. London papers were unanimous this morning in reporting with optimism the projected disarmament efforts. Political quarters in this connection attached increased importance to the official trade mission, which takes R.S. Hudson, Secretary for Overseas Trade, to Berlin next week. In Huntington, West Virginia, while the Reverend J.C. Buckley was in pajamas and overcoat fighting a fire, his trousers disappeared from his home. Mr. Buckley blamed a thief at first, but he learned today a neighbor had picked him up while helping carry furniture from the fire-damaged parsonage. The trousers were returned. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Friday, March 10th, 1939. On your radio, Calling All Cars. The conclusion next on this Thursday Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been. full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
We'll end our week on the Friday edition of Classic Radio Theater with an episode of Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young from 68 years ago, March 11th, 1954, The False Elopement. After Jim expresses disapproval of Betty's boyfriend, Jim and Margaret think they may be going to elope. That's coming up on Friday's Classic Radio Theater, but now the conclusion of Calling All Cars from 83 years ago, March 10th, 1939, and the case of the lesson in loot.
That's the way it was, Mr. Harris.
So what?
What? No tears this time, Pearl?
All right, Copper, what are you going to do about it?
I'm sorry to say I'm not going to do anything. The management foolishly refuses to prosecute you because of your youth.
Youth? Oh, shut up.
I can see it won't do any more good to talk to you than it did the last time.
That's a break.
You're going to be discharged without references. It'd do you much more good to be put where you'd have to realize you can't get away with this forever.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. You're getting another chance you don't deserve. Pearl, why don't you go straight?
Say, listen, you'll never get anything on me again, Copper.
I hope there won't be anything to get on you.
Yes, you do not.
Despite Pearl Stein's attitude, she was unheard of for over a year. Then reports of thefts from department stores totaling thousands of dollars made store operatives wonder if Pearl had graduated into big-time shoplifting. Among them was Lulu Lane, who followed a girl and a man through the entrance of one of the largest stores.
Marie, come on and take a walk with me. We may have some work to do.
Sure, Lulu, but I thought this was your day off.
It is. But that's Pearl Stein ahead of us. She's with the fellow with the one arm.
Does she have a record?
Gotten off twice that I know of. We've been wondering about her. Hey, they're heading for the dress department.
How does she work?
I don't know what her style is now, but she knows me, so I'll go over and wait by the door.
I get it. If she lifts something, I'll give you the business, and you nab her as she goes out,
Yeah.
huh?
If she goes in the dressing room, get chummy with the boyfriend. It'll be easy to.
I'm practically in his lap right now. And even though it does cost $500, it'll make me look just marvelous in my next picture. Don't you think so, Charles?
Sure thing, honey. Why don't you go try it on, maybe?
I think I will. The dressing rooms are right over here, miss. May I help you? Oh, that's all right. It won't take me a minute. I know I'm going to like it. And be right back, Charles.
I'll be here.
Will you excuse me? I have another customer.
Sure. It's okay. I'll have a smoke.
Oh, excuse me, but would you tell me which way the dressing rooms are?
Oh, sure thing. Right over there.
Oh, there. I was told to meet someone, but I don't see them.
Well, maybe they'll come along later. Can you have a seat?
Thank you.
Cigarette?
Oh, you're very kind. I don't imagine you're alone.
No. Not in this department.
I bet your girl's buying a wedding gown.
No such luck. She is getting a swell outfit. She's got a contract in pictures.
Oh, how marvelous.
And here she comes now. Where's the dress, honey?
I left it in the dressing room. Who's this dame?
She's just waiting for somebody. Clerk.
Yes, sir. I'll take that dress. But I just remembered I have to be at the studio in half an hour. Will you take a deposit on it? Certainly, ma'am. Where is the dress? I left it in the dressing room. Here's $5 on it. The name's Pearl Stone.
Come on, honey. You'll be late.
Oh, may I walk to the entrance with you? I always wanted to talk to an actress.
No, we're in a hurry. Just a minute, Pearl.
Huh? You!
Yeah, me. Up to your old tricks again, huh?
Listen, you hatchet-faced old... Say, you haven't got a thing on me.
Well, we'll see. What'd you get, Marie?
Plenty. It's a new gag on me.
Well, I'll be...
I left that dress in the dressing room, so you take your paws off me. She wasn't that fat around the waist when she went in there.
So that's it. You wrapped the dress around your waist under your own dress, huh?
Listen, that isn't a dress under there. It's me.
Okay, then you must have eaten it, and that's against the law, too. Come on.
Pearl Stein pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 6 months in the city jail, her youth acting in her favor. Upon her release, she was watched every time she entered a store. Pearl was now a master lifter and was fast becoming an expert criminal.
And if you're going to do any shopping in this store, Pearl, I'm going to come along and help you.
I don't need any store dick to help me shop.
Well, just the same, you're going to get that kind of help every time you go near anything that can be picked up. Save a lot of time.
You going to tell me I can't even go in a drugstore without one of you rats following me?
I'm just curious about the number of times you go in drugstores. This makes the 9th one today.
All right, Stu. You'll find out anyhow. I want a 10-cent bottle of Paregoric.
Paregoric? Say, are you drinking the stuff?
No, I'll wash my feet in it.
And if I remember, that wasn't the hat you were wearing when you went in the store.
I just bought this hat, copper, so you can get your hands off me.
You didn't buy anything, Pearl, but you did put your old hat on the rack and walk out with this one that you'd been trying on.
Oh, yeah?
And what's this bulge under your blouse? If you're putting on weight there, it's a mighty funny place. Come on.
Oh, all right. What's the difference? I might as well be in jail.
And so the first place you head for when you get out of jail the second time is a dress store.
I've been out 3 months. Hey, listen, who are you anyway?
I don't believe you know me at that, Pearl. You're too hopped up. Where are you getting the stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about. I work in this store.
Oh, so you work here. Well, tell me why you were heading for the entrance with that dress over your arm.
I was going to the buyer's office with it.
My mistake, Pearl. But if you go out that door with that dress, you know how long you'll go up for this time. Well, there she goes, Hazel. She's so high she doesn't even know what she's doing. Let's go get her. All right, Pearl, just take it easy.
Hey, get away from me!
Hold her wrist, Hazel.
I've got it.
Hey, I'll get you for this!
Got Hazel?
Take that!
I've got her.
Little...
After serving her 3rd prison term, Pearl Stein was not seen for over a year. Then, after arresting 2 men who had been systematically robbing public telephone pay stations, Detective Harris went to an apartment on South Main Street in search of the man who had been making master keys to the coin boxes. With him went 2 detective lieutenants.
Guess nobody's at home. No. Maybe it's a break. If this pass key works, we can look around. Well, I don't see any key-making machinery in this room, boys, anyway.
Me neither.
Wait a minute. There's somebody in the next room. Well, I'll be. Pearl Stein. What are you doing here? Open that door, Pearl. Come on. You can't get out the back way. Well, you're going to open it? All right, let's break it open. What'd you throw out that window, Pearl?
What's it to you, copper?
Oh, you haven't had your shot yet this morning, have you? You're in a bad humor. Well, we'll just have to go down and see for ourselves what you threw out.
No, don't do that. Oh, don't do that to me.
All right, then suppose you tell us what this is all about.
Well, I've been living here with Ed Farley and his wife.
Yeah, go on.
I didn't throw anything out the window, but if you find something down there, you'll think I did.
Oh, stop beating around the bush.
I don't want to go up for that. Or you just can't send me up for it. You got to give me a break.
What are you talking about?
I threw about 60 of those master keys out the window.
So you're mixed up in that racket now?
No, I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just living here with Ed and his wife.
Well, what are you getting hysterical about it for, then?
Because I threw something else out. Oh, you got to give me a break. If I went up for that, it'd kill me.
What was it?
Hypodermic needles. 4 hypodermic needles.
So you're peddling dope?
No, I'm not. Oh, you got to let me go. You got to. I can't stand it.
Shut up. Now listen to me. First, I want to know about Farley and these keys. If you're not mixed up in that, why'd you try to get rid of them? Well, come on, talk.
Him and his wife have been nice to me. I was trying to protect him.
All right. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Pearl. I'll give you a break if you tell me where Farley makes his keys and where I can get him.
How do I know you'll let me off?
I've always been on the square with you, haven't I?
Yeah, I guess so.
Then go ahead and spill it.
Well, Ed don't make the keys. A guy by the name of Jim Chandless makes them. I'll give you his address.
What was Farley doing with them?
He was selling them to young punks for $25 apiece. He's only sold 2 so far, I know that.
Well, that's a break for everybody. Will Farley come back here?
Yeah, he'll be here. Oh, but you gotta let me get away first.
All right, Pearl. But we'll get you sooner or later if you keep on peddling that stuff.
I won't do it no more. I promise.
Yeah, I've heard your promises before. It just happens that I couldn't have sent you up for that anyhow today, or I would have.
What do you mean?
I'd have to get you in the act of peddling it or catch it with it on you.
And you made me rat on Ed. Why, you double-crossing heel!
Oh, no, I'm not. I told you you'd go in for it sooner or later, and I'm probably saving Farley and his wife from becoming addicts, if they're not already.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm going to go east, Mr. Harris. I'm going to try to get a new start.
Well, I'll hope for a miracle, Pearl. But I think you gave yourself your last chance when you decided to live your own life. You've been living it, but I don't think you're going to much longer.
Pearl Stein did leave Los Angeles, but instead of going east to a new start in life, she went to San Francisco. She found new companions, and the only change she made was to switch from morphine to cocaine. Quicker acting, more responsive to her deadened nerves. In a large building, a doctor greeted a new patient.
Will you come in, please? Sit right there.
Doc, I don't feel so good. I feel like, well, sometimes I think I'm dying.
Yes, go on.
I don't know what's the matter with me. I've never been sick before.
Young woman, what's the real reason that made you come to me?
I don't know.
You know as well as I do.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but you got to do something for me.
A sanitarium is the only place that can do anything for anyone in your condition.
No, you got to do something for me where I'm not locked up.
It's the only solution to your problem. It's your only hope. And frankly, I can't guarantee the results of that.
Oh, well, all right. I'm sorry I troubled you.
Don't you even want to try to do something for yourself?
Yeah, of course. My, these instruments are shiny. What do you call this one?
That's a scalpel. Please put it down.
I'll bet it's sharp. I'll bet you could kill somebody nice and easy with it.
Would you please put that down?
No, I won't. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm gonna cut your face to ribbons.
You're crazy.
Yeah, that's it. I'm crazy. That's what's the matter with me. I've been that way for a long time. So don't you think you'd better do what I tell you?
Yes, of course I will. Anything at all.
Well, then listen. You're going to give me treatments. And you're not going to say one little word to the cops. If you do, I'll get you. I'll kill you.
I won't go to the police, I promise.
You promise?
Yes. I'll have you all fixed up in a jiffy. Now, just go out in my waiting room. Leave the scalpel here. There. That's fine. I'll be right with you as soon as I call a special nurse for you.
You're very nice, Doctor. I made a promise once, but I didn't keep it.
Get me the police department, quickly.
I heard that! Say you're not going to do that to me! You can tell the rats when they get here that you've killed me!
Come away from that window. Get back, I tell you!
In just a moment, Mr. Nick Harris will conclude our program. Remember, friends, all automobiles look alike in the dealer's showroom. It's what goes into the gas tank and the crankcase that makes a difference. And to make certain that the difference is in your favor, see to it that your gas tank gets real police car performance, Rio Grande cracked, that your crankcase gets Rio Lube, or Rio Grande, Pennsylvania, the motor oils that can't be broken down by engine heat or slowed up by the coldest kind of weather. And now, Mr. Harris.
And thus, Pearl Stein ended her career of crime. Hers was a life that was completely wasted. Her story proves again that crime is a losing proposition.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Cancellation of broadcast 275 regarding a suspicious person. Suspect in this case committed suicide. That's all. Rose and quit.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande.
Next week at this time, Rio Grande will present The Case of the $20 Bill. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And there you have it for March 10th, 1939, Calling All Cars on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I hope you'll please take a moment to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every Thursday at this time. We thank them so much, we'll never forget their kindness. Now, please, take a moment to visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can contact me through classicradio.stream. You can find all of our social media links. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. And you can also contact, hear our shows on demand. Not only at classicradio.stream, but at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great Thursday. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.